So what I want you to play with is when you're loading, so you're in your triangle power position, and when you load back, like when you're bringing your hips and glutes back, you're going to breathe in your nose. And then when you start to launch into our Superman, you're going to let it out your mouth. Now, some girls grunt, some girls just open their mouth, some girls blow it out. I don't care how you let it out. We just got to let the breath out. Okay. But that's a big thing that sometimes subconsciously we hold our breath during our pitch and we have no idea that we even do that. Like if I asked you, are you holding your breath? You'd probably be like, I don't know, Coach D. Like we have no idea. Okay. I
Yeah.
had no idea that I was doing it because like it's you hold your breath for what, 3 seconds? Like you don't even notice it. And so that's a big thing that pitchers do though of why they get tense, especially in their arm, is just because they are holding their breath. So if we can work on that breath control while we're pitching, it's automatically going to loosen you up. Okay. So let's do some dry pitches of us focusing on in your nose and out your mouth when we're launching, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Okay, beautiful. And I will say the best angle for me is going to be behind you and to the right, which is this setup right here. I see that bucket down there. Perfect.
Let me know if you need to move. I can move it.
Oh no, you're good, Mama. This is perfect. There you
That.
go. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's just do a couple of those and try to crank it up a little bit harder with your legs. There you go. That was already loose in your shoulder. Okay, I know you don't have a ball in your hand, but that still looks so much better. 2 more. There you go. Your backswing's looking amazing too. I've been seeing that you've been adjusting on that. That looks very good. And your angles, that's something that I pointed out, girls. Your angles look so good. Like, tell me really quick before we go into full pitching, what have you been working on in the academy? Because like you look very good mechanically. I'm curious to know exactly where you're at right now.
Phase 3, tier
Phase
2.
three. Okay, so you've already gone through tier 1.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's why you're crushing it, girlfriend. Okay, tier 1 is my favorite tier solely because it's so important to go through that ground force and DKE stuff. And you're like, I would love to see if mom has a before video of you before you started tier 1 and then an after video we take today, girl. I want you to do a compare and contrast because you look amazing from that very first video I ever saw of you. I don't have that handy. So I like want to see
Yeah.
that old video of you again if mom did like a before and after of you. But I want you to see how much progress you've made, okay? Because you look amazing. And I hope you see that and you feel that as well. Okay, perfect. Are you ready
Okay.
to throw it?
Yeah.
Do you want to work just down the middle right now while we work breathing techniques, or do you want to work locations too?
Down the middle right now.
That's fine. You just tell me when you're ready to move on, okay?
Okay.
So in your nose when you load, out your mouth when you push. That's okay. I'm going to give you about 3 before I say anything, okay? Let's just try to find that
Okay.
rhythm. There you go. That was a lot smoother. Beautiful. There you go. Could you feel you being smoother just by the breathing?
Yeah.
Okay, now talk to me about your speed right now. Have you noticed a speed jump recently?
Um, maybe a little bit, but not.
Not as much as maybe you want.
Yeah.
So this is where I want you to be a little bit more aggressive. Now you haven't got to this part in the tiers because this is in tier 3, phase 3, tier 3, but you might have seen the videos in the guide. Front side resistance. Do you know what I mean by getting knee to knee?
Isn't it,
You're doing it. I just want to know if you okay. So when you finish, exactly, yeah, that motion when you finish the pitch, I want you to think you have to squeeze your knees quicker. Okay. So when you're dragging that back leg, drag and squeeze, snap and squeeze a little harder for me. And then one other thing to help with your velocity, because I'm pushing you a little bit because your mechanics look so good. So I'm going to kind of push you velocity wise a little bit. I want you to think about your lat muscles. So if you lift your arms, it's kind of like where your armpits are, but behind them a little bit. So behind
mhm.
your armpits, those are your lat muscles. I want you to think when you're in your K position, you're using those back muscles, those lats to help you pull your arm circle down. So we're going to focus on that lat pull down in addition to that drive, that knee to knee. And now you might throw high right now. So I do want your eyes at the bottom of mom's bucket while we're working on this.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that out. Lat pull down, knee to knee. There you go. Let's do that again. Let's try to get a little bit more out of that comfort zone with our legs, okay? There you go. Ooh, that was nice. Let's do 2 in a row right here. Pull it down, girl. There you go. Beautiful. So that's going to be the kicker for you as far as like a quicker jump is to make sure our lats are pulling down, which you can learn about the lat pull down in the guides. So you don't have to jump to, you might have already be, if you're in tier 2, then you might have already done some of the whip stuff. I talk about it in the whip section, but it's also in the guides for whip, and it's also in the drill library for whip. So it'd be lat pull down, and then like the banded pull down in the guide is kind of the drill that I'm thinking for you to really feel that lat pull down a little bit more. You get and you feel that connection. And so you can look at that drill, and then I wouldn't skip to tier 3 for front side resistance quite yet. Stay with where you're at, but you can always go back to the guide 3, phase 3, guide 3, landing and delivery. That can help you just feel that snap and squeeze a little harder. But that's what I would kind of mix in, maybe one of the band drills for arm, one of the front side resistance drills to feel that in addition to what you're doing in tier 2. And that's where you're going to see your velocity keep going up that ladder a little bit, because mechanics are there. Now we're just trying to be more aggressive through the mechanic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's do a few more, then you let me know when you're ready for inside outside.
Okay.
There you go. I'll still take that. That's not bad. We just opened up that chest a little bit. So think about that glove arm going to mom and then pulling back down. There you go. Good adjustment. Pretty. 2 more. There you go. Your breathing looks very good. Are you still zoning in on that?
Yeah.
It looks very good. You're not pulling your shoulder at all. Good. Now there is one other adjustment. Now I'm not going to make this one a big deal. This is up to you, but I do want you to try it just for a few pitches. And if you don't like it, go back to what you're doing. If we can bring your back foot in maybe this much, like an inch or so from your triangle position, I think you can push off your back leg a little harder.
Okay.
Okay. And if
So
you're
a little bit like it,
get to where you normally are.
like that.
Bring it in a 1/2 inch. So touch the green right there is fine. Now, if that feels weird, bend your back knee and hinge your hips forward a little bit more. There you go. How'd that feel?
Good. Yeah.
Okay. You got to think your legs are considered your long muscles. When our long muscles, your legs and our arms, and I'm doing quotes like this because there's so many short muscles in addition to your long muscle, but when our long muscles are farther away from our center of gravity, sometimes it's harder for us to move. And our goal is with our back foot, it's to help drive our hips and our glutes closer to the catcher. And so when that leg is farther back, sometimes we don't have that leverage to really help that.
Yeah.
But we don't want it to be too close either. So you don't want it to be too close, but we don't want it to be too far. So you coming in that inch, I really think can make a big difference on you pushing harder on that back leg. So that's the why behind me wanting you to do that.
So when I'm working on this mound, can I just like work on being like on the tip of that green?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
There you go. Great pitches, girlfriend.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, I'm ready to excel you to something else besides your arm, girl. What else is something that you'd like to work on? Because you're crushing it right now as far as what your body's looking like and your mechanics. You're not pulling up. That breathing was key for you to help you from shoulder up. So what else would you like to work on today?